everybody, it's Jack and Dan, and today we're going to do some more steps on our Guardians of the Galaxy tank.
Yeah, we decided to call this the Guardians of the Galaxy tank because we're kind of making it for Gamora.
Basically, yeah.
She's a little beta that we rescued. We thought she was green. Now it seems that she's more like I think they call it a sunburst, like the orange one or whatever. But we weren't sure because she was kind of messed up when we got her. And we told that story a couple times. We kind of took her out of, they had like a glowfish tank with everybody together. And the Tetras were like beating up and killing all the betas. It was like a chain kind of store. And she was the only one that was left alive, and she was pretty beat up. And we took her home, and we put her down here, and she's doing really good in the princess tank. But what we're gonna do is we're making her like her own. So we're kind of modeling this. Jack kind of thought of how when, what's his name? The guy that was the planet? Ego. Star-Lord's dad. When he left those little orbs on all the planets.
The seeds. Yeah.
The seeds to like take over the planets and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's kind of how we're modeling this tank. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this around, kind of show you how far we made it since the first video a couple days ago. So we're going to start with the light off because it is dark, and I mean, other than the pond lights and stuff like that going on over there, but that way you kind of see the tanks better, and then we'll turn it back on, show you what we're doing. So Wade's tank obviously doing fantastic, doing great. Crips are doing awesome that we got from Terrace Tropical Tank Friends, or Terrace Tank Friends. I always throw in tropical for some reason. Anyway, Terrace Tank Friends, they're doing fantastic. Little book light's doing awesome. The undergravel lights are doing awesome. Wade's doing fine, and that tank's doing fantastic. As far as the princess tank, it's doing great. There's Gamora, by the way. You can see she is more of the yellow than the green we thought she was, and she's really coming around, and she's getting fat and happy and doing great. So oh, there's the dad's tail right there, the Galaxy Pleco. And so he's kind of keeping the babies in there right now, and you can see she's kind of going over there. He does not let her in there or anything, and he's not letting the babies out. That's one of the reasons we're making this tank. So by tomorrow, I mean, it'll be a few weeks, you know, for this whole series, but we're basically doing this all in a couple days. We're going to use these filters that we have in here. We have sponge filters in here, and then in Wade's tank that we're basically going to start a colony of water in this tank with and do an undergravel filter. As far as the light, we have to laugh at this one, right? Yeah. So we took Mary Bromfield's tank, and we totally forgot that the guy that gave us this old 5-gallon tank actually gave us a lid for it. And we weren't really using a lid. We just had this light underneath facing downward at it. Well, it was in really bad condition. We cleaned it up, basically hosed it off, cleaned it up, and it actually came out really nice. So we took a really small LED light and put it in there, but it's still really beaming in here. However, you made a good kind of suggestion about it. It looks though...
The TV looks as if it's the light is emitting on the sofas.
Yeah, if you look at this, the sofa, especially because it's yellow, it's like so bright. Look how she's watching the TV. Hey, go sit on the couch, Mary. She loves her little she shed. So it does kind of look brighter, like the TV is kind of blasting over here. So we're just going to kind of leave it. We do have 5 auto synkless in there, and this light's only on for about 5 hours. And there's never been any algae in here at all. So they obviously keep it under control. The pothos in here is doing pretty good. It is growing and getting roots. You can see right there, that piece right there is getting roots over there. And this piece right here has got roots kind of coming out from underneath the couch and everything. So that's pretty cool. We'll probably take about 2 of these auto synkless and end up putting them in here with Gamora. But anyway, so we got the undergravel light position. We're going to have some foam. We're obviously going to trim this foam and stuff when we get things positioned. The background is done. We just put a layer of the flat black, or mate, as Jack calls it, right?
It's mate. I pronounce everything correctly. I don't know.
It's mate.
You're all wrong. You're all living in the Matrix. It's mate.
So basically, let me turn this light back on. So that came out pretty good. So you're not really going to be able to see. We just kind of painted those sides and the back. That's going to hide some of the cords and stuff like that. We do have backgrounds on all these. Some people have made suggestions of why we don't on this tank. It's really just one air tube that you see, and it doesn't really bother us. And plus, it's a really tall tank, and most people can't, you know, see straight back. Plus, with all the vines and everything in there and all the pothos roots, you don't really notice it. So we just don't have a background. We just don't bother with it. Now, as far as the progress on here, we decided to make a small undergravel filter, just like we did for the, well, this started out as a man cave, but now it's a she shed. And basically what we did here is we actually have this over here drying. We took a piece of, you know, exhaust tubing, And I can pick this up because it's already starting to dry. We took 2 little pieces of an under gravel filter, we put them together, and we just silicone this on. And you can see here that goes right up through. We kind of have it on a corner so it, will kind of draw from everything. And so we just kind of silicone that on there, and that takes about 24 hours to dry. And it's early in the evening on a Thursday. So by tomorrow night, Friday night, this thing will be good to go. And we'll just put a little air tube down in there. Now to cover that up, there's Larry. Hi, Larry. He always wants to know what we're doing. What's up, dude? Say hi to everybody. He always thinks we're going to feed him or something. He always comes up, say hey, buddy. Say hey. He'll say hi. He's like, you don't have any food. So anyway, the pond's doing awesome. All the goldfish are actually up in there. They're getting huge. But I think we freaked them out turning the lights on and stuff, so he went over there. So Jack's done sifting for now, but we left this all out here because he may have to sift a little more depending on how much we need. Now, as far as the other stuff going on here, this is the thing that we got this on I want to say a Mark's clearance rack for like 99 cents. These things can sometimes, I've seen them for like 25 bucks. It's like, look, last things. This is going to go over top of that underground filter to kind of hide the shaft. And this is going to be, signifying that seed thing from Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to kind of go over there. Now, these guys, how cool of a deal is this? These guys, I don't know if these still have the price tags on them. Yep. So we were at an at-home store. If you've never been to an at-home store, I mean, tons of aquarium supplies.
There's a lot of cool stuff, yeah.
Tons of aquarium supplies you can get. Now, these were $5.99. They were on clearance. We went, I think it was last year after Christmas, I want to say. We went, and they had these on clearance. We got them for $0.25 a piece. $0.25 a piece, man, for like these little paperweights. Now, the cool part is we saw them. They had like, I think there's like a dozen of these. And they're like $0.25 a piece. We're like, we'll just take them all. So we threw them in the cart because we knew we'd probably use them for a tank. It's kind of like a paperweight. The cool part, it's like magnified. Look how it like magnifies things. So we're going to end up, basically what we're doing is taking a razor, just taking this like wallpaper stuff off the bottom. We're going to wash them up. These are going to sit, we're probably going to have about 2 of these. They're going to sit on top of those under gravel lights and kind of magnify that and shine up into the light. Kind of like how these prisms do in Wade's tank, but probably even more just because they're magnified. The rest of them that we don't use are just going to be covered up with gravel and part of the under gravel filter, mostly be in the back. These will be there, and then the plants will go around them. So this is going to be super cool when we get those done. It's really easy. We're just kind of scraping that stuff off with a razor blade. So we're going to have either 2 or 3 of those. We're not exactly sure yet. But what a deal, huh? I mean, look at these paperweights. Really nice. I mean, $6. Got them for $0.25. So check out At Home if you never have. If you've never checked out At Home. Super, super, super cool. Aquarium supply, stuff like that. So this is the light we talked about. This is going to kind of go down the air tube and be wrapped all around this and kind of throughout the plants in the bottom and just kind of look like this, crawling blue light, of the seed kind of thing. So that's going to be really neat. This is the light that we got from the guys from Tanked. Kind of an under gravel kind of thing. And it does have different modes. And we did videos on these a couple years ago when we first got them. That's off, that's on. And then it has like a flashing, which we don't necessarily love. And then it has like a slow kind of fading in and out. That's probably the setting we'll just leave it on all the time. And so that'll be intertwined around all of that through this and just kind of glowing back and forth. This is the original lid. We found this tank in the trash. It was filthy. We cleaned it up. And it was a glowfish tank, apparently. So it does have a black light. Between this dark blue black light and this, I think there's going to be plenty of effects. And then a little bit of under gravel lights in. Again, we don't have a lot of lighting in this. This is unusually bright, but it's just, we'll probably get a lower bulb. This is my office. We have this huge overhead light here. And plus they get light from all these windows. So we don't have a lot of lights on these tanks. The pothos just grows from the surrounding light and everything. But we do obviously want to light them up in the evening. This is more of what we're probably going to be looking for when we end up redoing that. But anyway, it is kind of cool with the whole TV. Kind of making a statement about TV and all that, I guess, right?
Sure, yeah. You know what we could have done is...
He's like, no, not really.
we could have done the head of the Celestial nowhere. Could have done that, like a skull.
True.
That would have been cool, like just floating in space.
Yeah.
That would have been...
Oh, the alien head? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Well, the other thing is we could have just used a bunch of skulls as gravel. Remember when his dad like showed him?
Yeah.
That would be, but that's kind of morbid. I don't want to do that.
No, well, you could have done like the inside of the Milano, the ship, like just like that's kind of hard.
Yeah, I like the whole seat idea, especially because we have this crawling light and we have not really thought of how to use it. I think it's going to look good in this scenario. So this is going to go in there. This is going to be tied around everything and glowing and underwater. This is going to be the overhead lights. The top. Look how nice this was. It was filthy, and Jack cleaned it up. He actually took some alcohol to it. It had a lot of tape and glue on it. Cleaned it all up, took some old tape off. We might have to put some new Gorilla tape on to hold this. But anyway, that's going to be on top. This pothos obviously is going to be reaching down in here and growing tons of roots, just like all these other pothos do. And, you know, pulling out all that stuff. Now, this is the only tank we have a heater in. Gamora will be able to adjust, though, because betas really don't care. The whole reason we popped this heater back in here is because of these Galaxy Plecos. So this is going to be basically a baby Galaxy Pleco nursery from now on. Hopefully they will continue to breed. If not, we may need it for angelfish because they're already starting to show some breeding activity, right?
Yes.
6 months old and they're like, hey, what's up? So we may need it for that. We may even set up a different tank and use it for some other stuff too. But anyway, what else was I going to show? Other than that, we do have some plants and rocks. We're not going to use, we're going to put like some big green plants like in the background and stuff and around the outside. And we do have some of these big boulders. We took these out of Brutus's tank because he was moving them. Look at these huge boulders. Brutus was just moving them out of his way. Yeah. He was just like, I don't like those. And he pushed them all. And so, he's such a monster. And so we're just going to maybe put some here. The ones that we don't use, we'll probably end up just putting some more up here in Wade's tank because he's got some, but it would be kind of cool. So that'll give the snails more surface area and stuff like that. So that's the deal, guys. So that's the next update in this whole thing. Basically what we're doing is we're waiting for the silicone to dry on that. We're waiting for the paint to dry on this. And then we're going to, you know, position all this and trim this foam, get the under gravel little bulbs fixed here, the under gravel filter, the stuff in. We're going to squeeze those sponge filters from there and there into here and get a culture and everything going. And if all's good, we're going to pop Gamora in here. Quite honestly, betas do well. I mean, they need very little acclimation. We could honestly probably toss her in there and throw her in anything and she'd be fine. I mean, they're very, very strong. Just like Mary here. It still amazes me how huge Mary is. Well, look, she's actually in the thing. She's hiding in the thing. She hardly ever goes in there. She's in the house next to the... You can see the air bubble from the under gravel filter. She's like, I see you guys talking about me. She's such a tough... She's the biggest, toughest female beta I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, she does chase these little guys around, but she gives up after a while because they're pretty quick. They just dart underneath stuff and that, and then she gives up. So anyway, we'll probably put a couple of those in here. So next time you see this, it'll probably be, for the most part, halfway set up, and then we'll kind of show you guys where we're at with that, and then we'll let it kind of go for a day or something like that, and then we'll put Gamora in here, and then we will show you what's going on with these baby plecos, because I'm pretty sure once she's out of there, he's going to let those babies out. They're pretty big now, and we'll see what happens there. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll see the next one coming up. See you next time.
Bye-bye.